It's Hughezy. Hello and welcome to the next episode, especially if you're one of the grapplers. I'm a late fan, but I've come to realise how hilarious they are, so go follow the plugs. Don't forget that there's a show Patreon that has all kinds of exclusive, uncut content that you don't get anywhere else but there. While the podcast may not be bleeped, that doesn't mean that it's the entire thing. Certain stuff has to be cut out for, well, you'd find out when you click on the Patreon. Also, don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's the audio version with all kinds of extras. And don't forget, if you're listening to this on Stitcher or iTunes or Google Play, go check out the YouTube version. You actually get to watch us and see what we look like when we talk. Don't forget to also follow the Creative Control Network on Twitter and all kinds of social media except for Instagram. Thank you, Radigan. We can follow all kinds of great shows there, such as American Dirtbag, Wrestling with Reality, Highway to Helms, Oh What a Rush podcast, and even the Creative Control Network itself. And then don't forget that if you're into wrestling, check out the Keeping It 100 YouTube page where you can get to actually interact with Conan and Disco by leaving comments there, because all great people leave comments. And don't forget that if you're on the audio version of this, don't forget to leave a 5-star review on iTunes, because that sort of stuff helps. Because if you're going to listen, you might as well help it just a wee tiny smidge of a small bit. Thank you very much. And the plugs are over. Okay, this is a great one today. We've got the brilliant, muscular, hilarious Brian Cage coming on. We got Felicia Rose coming on. She hosts a podcast called The Screw, which is not a DIY podcast. But up first, we've got the first ever It's Hughezy Hello Halloween party. And by Halloween, I meant to say Valentines Day Party. But I'm not going to do this again because I don't want to. It's going to have Joe Feeney from Creative Control. It's got Jon Wanglund from Wrestling with Reality. And we've got the debut of one of my friends from Ireland, Niall Curran. Here's the thing, I'm going to warn people. We're kind of having a laugh here. It's kind of ironic. And if you listen to the audio version, you're going to get the full joke part of it. It's just a bit of crack, which is what Irish people call fun. Try it out. Try not to get all triggered and try to be in on the joke. Joe, John, Kern, hello. So hey guys, I want to thank you all for coming to the first annual It's Hughezy Hello Valentine's Day Party. We've actually got a new guest here for the first time ever to the show. Notorious Niall Curran. He's from Ireland.
What's up, brother?
What's up? How you going?
This is going great. So
now, has anybody got me a Valentine? Because I haven't received anything yet. I've been checking my email. I've been checking my phone. I haven't seen shit.
I'll get you some shit for in a week or two. An absolutely lovely jar of shit.
There we go.
Radigan sending chocolates.
Where's he been? He's not joining in our reindeer games anymore. He's very quiet.
Maybe he's trying to work out how to use Instagram. He's setting up the Creative Control MySpace page. So it's Valentine's Day, and of course the party's kicking off, and the music is all great. So let's start off with a question. I think we'll let John answer this one first. Who's better, Muslims or Scientologists?
Wow. Man.
I like where this is going.
I gotta defer that one off due to the nature of my real job.
Pedophilia. Now, why don't you answer us? Who's better between Muslims or Scientologists?
Me?
No, Kern. He forgot his own name.
Come on.
I didn't hear you. Sorry, there's noise in the background. Well, they're both great, so I don't know who. I mean, I respect them both so much in their beliefs. God, it'll be hard to do. I mean, which one is Tom Cruise?
Does he look like a Muslim to you?
Does Islam have Tom Cruise?
No.
No, they don't got him.
John Travolta?
No. Scientology?
No. The girl from King of Queens?
I'd like
Leah Remini?
Yes. I'll go with Scientology then. They're my favorite.
Yeah, I like them. What about yourself there, Joe Feeney?
Well, I've never been screamed at by a bunch of Scientologists just for getting off a train in Philadelphia. So I'm going to go with I like Scientologists better. They seem to be more polite.
You got screamed at by Muslims getting off a train?
Yeah, they post up at outside Philly train station to just yell at you for being American or a white male or non-Muslim or, smiling. They yell at you for anything, basically. So that's always
I used
fun.
to get screamed and shot at by them for years, so I know how it is.
Yeah, but they don't like homosexuals. But
That's true.
but the correct answer is Scientologists, because nobody can prove anything they've been accused of. Yet there's actual video footage of gay people being thrown off buildings. But anyway,
heads up.
But it's true. Like, why do they deny actual video footage? All we hear is rumors about what goes on there in those awesome Scientology centers, and I'm going to tell you, the snack table is exquisite.
I like that they just, if you mess up or whatever, they just pretty much berate you to tears in front of everyone else. So that's good. I mean, that's how you build character, anyway.
That's what it should be. It's like you just
exactly
slag them all. Like, God. Tom Cruise watching it goes, "Hey guys, God." Goes, ah! So here's the next question. I've got. Does anybody here smoke?
No. Former smoker.
So can you ask a controversial question this time?
We're getting to it. Don't worry. So people that smoke get to get up and leave right in the middle of work and take breaks between allotted breaks. And sometimes if they're out there talking, they can get up to a 10-minute break. And then you go, "What do you smoke for?" And they go, "Well, smoking relaxes me." So my question is, do you think that non-smokers should get whack-off breaks? John, you go first.
Hey, I'm down for it, man. If you give them a break too, man. Somebody's got to go flog the dolphin, man. Sometimes.
What about you, Curran? How do you like to quack your duck during work time?
Only if they work with children.
Let's clarify that statement. Curran, you mean hot, sexy children, not just
yeah, not ugly ones.
Yeah. Like, what kind of a weirdo masturbates to an ugly kid? That's gay, man.
That's disgusting.
Gross.
Those people should be locked up.
I know.
Appalling.
Curran's way funnier than Hughezy, man. I like this guy.
Well, Curran, thanks for coming on. We're gonna have to let you go. What about yourself, there, Joe? Like, now you usually work in your own office. So.
Oh, that's exactly right. I could say that I started smoking because of exactly what you said. When I worked at a cheesesteak place outside Philly, I was like 15 when I started working. And that's how anybody got a break. The only break to go fucking stand in the smoker's corner, Plus, every, girl there smoked. So you wanted to be over in the smoker's corner. As far as masturbation breaks, I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean, you got to keep your head about you. You can't be stressed out all the time.
And especially with the fact that you can get 4K HD good stuff on your phone at any time. Like, we could go off and watch Hulk Hogan getting his dick sucked, brother.
Now, if my friend Adam from Preferred Freezer Services happens to be watching or listening, he knows how it used to go down in the cooler over there. That's all I'm saying. No one's gonna know what that means except him. So,
ooh. Were you guys having a little corner time in the freezer, Joe?
It was a very big cooler. They had these vehicles to pick the freight where you could go way up in the air and no one could see you. Internet worked in there. I'm just saying, you didn't want to go in a certain vehicle because you know what I mean.
You got to do what you got to do.
Take breaks in there. You got to do what you got to do, especially when you're working night shift, right? And you haven't seen a broad in weeks because you're working overnight. Now I'm getting all angry about my old job, but yeah, so I understand.
So what are you drinking there, man? Is that coffee?
That is tea with kratom.
Kratom? What is kratom?
It's a lovely herb. I would recommend watching the documentary A Leaf of Faith.
Okay.
Chris Bell?
Yeah.
Chris Bell did that documentary? Yeah, I followed him. He did Prescription Thugs and Bigger, Stronger, Faster.
Oh, shit. I got to check it out there. I've seen those two. Those are good documentaries.
Yeah.
He did Trophy Kids as well. Trophy Kids it's actually depressing.
I've seen that one too, man. That's crazy. Some of the shit people do for their kids on that, man. It's insane.
speaking of documentaries, a documentary that's inevitable. It's going to be coming out in a couple of months' time. As I'm sure you heard the completely 100% truthful, factual story of Jussie Smollett was attacked in Chicago.
God.
Now, this story is unbelievable, where he says that at 2 o'clock in the morning in Chicago, in the middle of a winter storm, he was jumped by two MAGA hat wearing racist white men who also had a noose and bleach on them, and switched the shoes on the wrong feet, giving Game of Thrones spoilers, told them to cheat, told them the post-credit scenes of Marvel films, and shit in his face. And the thing is, only part of that is made up. So
part of it's true. He was in Chicago. That's it. That's the true part.
So the thing I would ask is, what's your take on that story?
I only know what you've told me, so I didn't follow up on it. So
who the fuck is he? I don't even know who he is. Is he
Right.
like on Empire?
He's an actor.
See what John said there. This is actually the perfect point, because here's the thing: this guy, no one had ever heard of him before this crime. So if someone's a MAGA homophobic racist, why would they watch Empire and know who that is?
Yeah.
So what are the chances that two people would just happen to find this one guy in the middle of the street?
Not only that,
Trump, but like Trump wasn't homophobic. It wasn't like Trump, like I read somewhere, you can say all this other stuff would be misogynist or whatever, but like he actually wasn't homophobic. He was like for gay marriage in like 2000 or even back then. So if you want to be honest about him, like he isn't. I mean, a lot of the Republican Party might be homophobic, but Trump isn't. You know, I mean, he worked in the hotel business, for fuck's sake. You know,
and people don't remember, but he also got this. I can't remember it offhand, but it was called some kind of Freedom Award, right? It was like 1985 he received this. It was for, hiring minorities and all this kind of things. And there's pictures of him holding the award, and he's right in between Muhammad Ali and Rosa fucking Parks at this award ceremony. So what a racist.
Do you think Donald Trump said to her, why are you up on the stage, and where's all your cleaning stuff?
I'll take a scotch and soda.
Why don't you put yourself at the back of the bus?
Yeah, he's like, thought I ordered an Asian woman.
I'm not a supporter of Trump at all. I don't like the guy. I can't stomach his ass. But you know what? I'm just going to say it. We have such a divide in our country now that the horse shit story like this Juicer Smollett, or what's the name? Juicer?
Jessica, something like that.
Whatever the hell. It's such horse shit, man. And it's just sitting over there and trying to just create more tension in our country, man. And it's just like, for fuck's sake, man. Like, you getting kicked off the show, or they threatened to get rid of you, bro? Like, fucking A, man. There ain't MAGA people hunting people down to beat their ass in Chicago, man.
Let's be realistic.
Not in Chicago, man. I've been to Chicago a ton of times, man. And if you go to the wrong neighborhood, man, you're gonna regret it, especially as a white person, man. It's not gonna work out good for you. So,
but they like shooting people there for sure, and they like shooting people there. So you probably don't want to walk around at 2 a.m. when it's negative fucking 17 out.
Yeah,
and not only that, there, don't they? It's the most famous. Like, it's called the Windy City, isn't it?
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a joke.
It's cold as fuck even in the summertime, bro.
Soldier Field's over there. Now, and I heard now there's footage of him just strolling into his building carrying his fucking delicious Subway sandwich, which, god damn it. I mean, and he won't give up his phone to prove that he was on the phone. His liar manager's like, I heard the whole fucking thing. Yeah, come on, dude. Stop it. Just stop it. And it's just a shame that it's like you said, John, with the divide. Like, anyone on the right side immediately goes, this guy's a liar. Whether or not there's proof, there's not much proof that it happened, but they'll go, this guy's a liar. Anyone on the left is automatically like, this is the stone cold fucking truth. This happened. These motherfucking racists jumped in, blah, blah, blah. And it just no one even takes the time to really hear the story or hear the evidence. Now, the evidence probably points to the fact that it's a hoax, but you'll never get anyone on the left to accept that.
But it's such a shame, man. It really is, like, when you see it, because it's like, hey, we don't have to have the same political views to be able to talk cordially about our differences in something, or everybody's got to fucking fight, man, and do it. And just like, come on, man, listen to everybody's perspective, talk it out, don't all this shit. I don't know how it is in Ireland for you guys. Like, me and you talked about, I think once, Hughezy, you said there's a really big divide in some places now in Ireland too. Is that true?
And not as much as it used to be, but
as long as it's nothing like England.
Ah,
Fuck
who?
the English.
Who? Who?
Ooh.
But yeah, but this is the guy's story. He literally said on stage that he fought them back, yet he also had a sandwich and his phone on him. So this guy is Dalsum from Street Fighter.
It's unbelievable. You know,
Hey,
the
that
other night I
meatball
was.
marinara he ate gave him some superpowers and shit, man, to fight him off.
The
But
other night,
that's the thing. It definitely wasn't meatball marinara, because who could buy that in the subway and walk all the way home and then eat it? You eat it right there on the spot like a savage. That's what I do. I eat that meatball sandwich as if Jennifer Lopez dropped a pen in front of me. You know what I mean? And they go.
it's just silliness.
It's
I
cheat
mean,
day, baby.
obviously, it was made it for publicity. I mean, when I was walking around the other night with a gallon of bleach and a noose, I was just thinking about how full of shit this guy was. I couldn't believe it. Unbelievable.
Are you carrying a 6-foot cross on your back to go stake it in somebody's yard too?
I got people that do that for me.
I mean, every time I go out and jump a gay person, I don't care if they're black. I'm not a bigot.
No, there's no need to be racist.
Yeah, I won't never.
You know, I got an email last week from somebody that really took opposition to one of my views, and he called me a terrorist in there. He called me a terrorist, and basically gave me the whole, I bet you're a fucking Trump supporter and you're a fucking terrorist and a racist. And then I said to the kid, I said, bro, first thing is, I said, you might want to address one thing. I said, I'm the only white person in my house, considering my wife and kids are all of color. So I said, let's just throw that out there first, man. Second, I don't even like the guy, man. I was like, what do you got to go with that for, man? I don't know why people got to do that shit, Let people like who they like and whatever.
Serves you right for having a different opinion.
I know, right, man?
Yeah, nonsense.
Right?
How dare you?
Fucking terrorist. You're different than me. You're going to go out and fucking kill people, man.
You
What
are
the heck?
literally worse than Hitler.
I gotta tell you, see that Hitler guy? See, the more I read about him, he was such a Nazi.
Have you ever seen the movie Conspiracy?
No.
Mel Gibson, Julie Roberts.
No. It's an HBO movie. It's shit.
Sounds great.
Can't remember the fuck. Yeah, it sounds great, right? No, it's
By the
it's
way,
like
I hope it had a strong female lead and a rich, diverse casting, or I refuse to watch it.
Nah, see, it was all white males because it was about how the Nazis devised the final solution, if you will. And it's about an hour and a half long, and it's actually created to be, minute by minute, the exact recreation. So it took them about 90 minutes to come up with that plan over lunch, and they all take a break for a nice cigar and stuff. It's pretty chilling.
That's right. Like, what do you call him in it? The guy in the King's Speech, Colin Firth's in it.
Yes. And
I've seen that. Yeah, that's good. It's about the meeting in like 1941. That's a good movie.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Stanley Tucci is one of the guys. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
From what I've heard about him and the accusations, he's going to be called Stanley Touchy pretty soon.
Really?
I've heard what I've heard.
Not Tucci. Come on.
Tucci, no!
Already lost Spacey. Now I got to lose Tucci too.
Well, speaking of apparent pedophiles, this brings me to my next topic. So they've finally started showing over here the TV show Surviving R. Kelly.
Ooh.
And there's new accusations have come out against Michael Jackson. And even if you include O.J. Simpson, well, in fact, you know what? Let's just stick to the R. Kelly part. He was actual video footage came out of him pissing on an underage girl.
Jesus.
And there's a certain community denies it. It says, nope, it's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. But then you listen to Trump. You know who Donald Trump is?
Yeah? A jellyfish thing in her face. You know what I mean? He's trying to help her out.
Well, replace Hughezy Joe with this guy. He's awesome.
You are, Kelly. But then when you consider that with Trump, all we've heard is a rumor. Like Bill Maher's like, I heard that he got pissed on once. It's stupid Russia. And they was like, yep, it's true. It's true. So the question I have, get accused of crimes that they instantly have the support base of, nope, didn't happen.
You mean like an O.J. Simpson style support base? No matter if there's DNA splattered all over a crime scene and all over other people's blood and DNA in his vehicle, that he was just set up by 40 cops that had never talked before that night, that kind of thing.
Yes, and Michael Jackson, who's who literally had kids describe his penis, and he goes, nah.
I heard it's nice.
Then with R. Kelly, even today, I was watching the documentary, and they're saying that the reason why he get away with so many crimes so long is because white people don't want to protect black women. So the problem with R. Kelly being a pedophile is because of white people being racist. So why do you think that is?
That was a big turn, wasn't it? It wasn't we're prosecuting him because he's black. It was he got off because he was attacking black women. It was like this super double racism that they were invoking, and I was like, whoa, shit. But I don't think the whole community supports him, but there's definitely some people that still do. But there's also some prominent artists and stuff that have called for him to be banned from, the radio or fucking Spotify or whatever the other fucking radio deal is. And he's actually been banned by some cities. I just read that Philadelphia banned R. Kelly. I didn't know you could do that, but apparently R. Kelly is banned in the city of Philadelphia.
But I'm telling you this, I don't give a shit what Michael Jackson is being accused of or found guilty of. There could be video footage of him shitting in a baby's mouth, and I'll be like, well, you know what? Maybe the baby was that hungry, because I'm not deleting anything of his stuff off my iTunes. Maybe Earth Song can go. Maybe Earth Song, but everything else is staying. Stranger in Moscow.
That video as well. Not listening to his music, but delete that video of him doing that to the baby. I don't want to sound old-fashioned or moralistic, but that's wrong. You should never do that.
But you want to talk about like community denial? Like everyone's just as guilty with Michael Jackson, not the black community or whites or disgusting Italians or any of those people. We all were guilty of turning a blind eye to Michael Jackson because no one does those monstrous things to their face and then has a whole world of people just turning a blind eye like, yeah, you look good, Mike. Oh, he's totally sane. He's totally fine. So everyone was guilty of enabling his fucking manias.
And he never had plastic surgery too. Remember that he said that?
Yeah, he said I did my nose twice or something.
Yep, and that was his natural color as well.
Like a fucking alien, dude.
He was a scary looking guy, man.
The best thing Michael Jackson ever did was no dancing, no singing. It's when at the MTV Awards he turned up, pilled out of his mind, and took an ornament off a piece of cake and did an award speech, and you could see everybody looking at him, and they're like,
he was the fuck is this the artist of the millennium. I remember that.
Did you ever see that one, Kern?
No, I've never seen it. No,
right.
I'll have to look.
This is literally what happened. Britney Spears introduced him. She says, "My co-presenter and the artist of the millennium, Michael Jackson." So he makes his entrance, bumps into the stage, and he goes, "Fuck." So then as he walks up, he picks up this like ornament off like a fake cake, and he goes, "I want to thank you all for helping me and accept this award as artist of the millennium." And it was just like he's retarded over here. But it was like he is so far gone that he doesn't like it's unbelievable. And the fact is that Axl Rose was there that night, and even he said in his hockey jersey, "What the fuck's up with this Michael Jackson guy?"
Yeah, and his freshly peeled face too, all Botoxed out, looking like a goddamn Muppet.
Remember when he got pissed off? Wasn't it Slash he got pissed? You're a huge Guns N' Roses guy. Wasn't it Slash he got pissed off at when they were taping, I think it was like for the Super Bowl halftime or something, or some big show? He got pissed at him because he kept doing the intro longer and longer, like when he was doing a guitar solo.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, yeah.
Yeah,
it was I heard it was I heard it was staged though, that they had that. They had rehearsed it that way or something like that.
He's a better actor than most of the guys in wrestling now, then, man, because he looked hot.
Yeah.
It looks like Slash kept doing it just to piss him off even more.
Hey,
what's Michael Jackson gonna do about it?
Who would you rather kiss and cuddle with, Michael Jackson or Slash?
Prince. Oh no. I gotta go with Slash. He looks, he's got the long hair, and you could never mind. That's the line.
But so here we come up to the final question, or should I say topic, and this is something that I always say this to the real anti-Trump people, and it's amazing to me. It keeps going on. Oh, you got to impeach Trump. You got to impeach Trump, and it's like, well, you know what happens if he's impeached? Mike Pence then takes office, and he's worse than Trump ever is. Like Mike Pence is openly a homophobe and openly like insanely sexist. So the thing is, why is it do you think that a lot of the anti-Trump liberals don't understand that?
I think they want to
sexist. Oh, sorry.
I think they want to get to Pelosi. They want to. They figure they'll bump Trump, and then somehow they'll bump Pence out of there, and they'll get President fucking 40 Valium a day and a gallon of vodka Pelosi. She is so. Speaking of people being pilled up, like she is so fucked up all the time. And again, people are just pretending it's normal for her to be going and fucking stuttering every word and forgetting.
She has Tourette's syndrome, Joe. You don't know.
She's got
right?
some stupid bitch syndrome. That's all I got.
But what do you think about that, John?
Man, you know what? I think people are just like it's. I agree with what you said, man. He's a worse. He's a bigger nutbag than Trump is, man. So like, if that's what they really think is going to help, they're fucking bizarrely crazy. And I think they forget sometimes what will happen, if that did. And I'm telling you, like you said, Trump leaves a lot to be desired for many people, man. And some people love him, and whatever their opinion is, it is what it is. But man, Mike Pence is a nut, man. And like you said, he's an openly homophobic guy. He's very, very over the top with his ways. He would be a worse case scenario than even Trump. I think it would be bad, man. He's a nut.
The only good thing about Mike Pence is that he doesn't lie, and that he'd be interviewed and be like, well, Mr. Pence, there's some accusations of homophobia. And he goes, yep. They go,
right on the button.
They would insinuate that you would be prejudiced towards gay people. He's like, yep, fuck him.
Was he for like electroshock therapy? Is that right? Did I hear that right? Like electroshock therapy for gay people?
To what? Shock the gay out of them?
Oh, yeah. I remember hearing that too.
I think he wrote an article or something on it in the 90s.
Oh, did I? Okay.
And that was his position. Yeah. Or something like that. Yeah. In extreme cases of gay, you get the electric shock going, and then next thing you know, the guy turns into John Wayne. So it works out.
Well, I mean, John Wayne
did
walk a strange way, Maybe John Wayne's a bad example.
Maybe he is.
Maybe people really want John Wayne.
What's his real name? Didn't he have a really effeminate first name?
Marion Crabtree.
Marion.
What?
Yeah, John Wayne wasn't even John Wayne. Sorry.
He was Marion Crabtree?
Think so, yeah.
It was
definitely Marion.
Wow.
Well, my name's Marion, and hey, do you have any gum?
It says something about your phone when I go to Google John Wayne, and immediately my phone thinks I want to look up John Wayne Gacy. I don't know what that says about me personally.
So,
phone knows you well, Joe.
Yeah, apparently.
So, just as we're coming to wrap up this incredible Valentine's party, I think we should all finish with the traditional everybody admitting to a man that they find attractive. So, Jon Wanglund, why don't you admit to a man that you think is attractive?
Man, I'm gonna David Radigan, man. He's a real hero of mine. I love him.
Shape.
He's in good shape.
Nice body.
He's got his own business. Tough, big, buff guy, man. Cool dude. Dave Radigan.
Big MLW fan too.
Yeah, he's gonna be taking on Tom Lawler soon. Now that Tom's the champ, he's hopping in the ring there, man.
I was there for that history-making moment. Tom Lawler win the title.
All love for my brother Dave Radigan, man. I'll call it for Dave. We'll do it for him.
So, Curran, why don't you name a man that you find to be attractive? And by the way, you look like the Kingpin right there.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes, he does, kind of.
Yeah, pre-diabetes. I think definitely Stephen Hawking.
Oh,
God, Jesus Christ.
Rest in peace.
You know what's amazing about that guy? He can't even fucking brush his own teeth, yet he somehow cheated on his wife.
He did?
Yeah, he had an affair with her and left her some other hoe. Motherfucker got some side piece. Fuck that bitch. And he dropped his hoe for some new ass. All over here.
I gotta think about this one. I feel like I gave my list, and it's a very small exclusive list. What am I gonna say here? I said Gyllenhaal, right? I said the very handsome Chris Jericho. I can't remember who my other one was.
Chris Hemsworth?
No.
He's lovely, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a dreamboat.
I'm gonna go with the guy Adam from Maroon 5. I was watching the halftime show, and I'd almost feel straight if I consummated with him because he looks like a little bitch.
And once again, all of you cisgendered white males have been exposed as racist because none of you went for men for MOCs. You went for white cisgendered crackers.
What do you mean? I picked a Jew guy.
I pick a disabled person.
Yeah,
David's
a white
Muslim.
See that? We all did. We all
David's
picked
Muslim, you ass.
Nah.
I think that's a good line to end on. David.
Oh no! I know who yours is right here, man. I'm just gonna call this one out there. Joe? Who is Hughezys right here, man? I know you know it too.
I'm drawing a blank on this one. I'll know as soon as you say that.
Certain guy that he talks about a lot.
Kevin Cross.
No, sir. Disco Inferno,
Damn.
man. He's gonna ask him on a date.
He's got thick hair. He does.
That's not the question that's to change podcast forever, but it is going to be the follow-up question. Okay, and plus now we know that Jon Wanglund prefers Muslims to Scientologists.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
Okay, well, I think we'll do a big happy Valentine's Day group cheer after 3, and that'll be the end of the session.
Absolutely.
Oh, wait,
not.
we didn't figure out what everyone's going to do for Valentine's Day. On the New Year's and Christmas episodes, we at least found out everybody's plans. I'm interested to see who's doing what for Valentine's Day here.
What about yourself there, John, Mr. Mustache Scratcher?
Oh my gosh, I would say nothing. Me and my wife don't celebrate it actually.
He's gonna bone her like he owns her, brother.
Yeah, I mean,
I do it anyway.
Valentine's
So
Day.
we've been together long enough, man. I'm telling you. So
Is it anal sex
Valentine's
night
Day
at
doesn't
the Wanglund house? It's probably anal sex night over there, right?
if I'm lucky, I get that treat a few times a year.
So how big is the strap on that she uses?
I don't know. Hughezy, what size is that one you loaned me?
Half an hour, brother.
Nice.
What about you, Curran? Any Valentine's Day plans?
Just the usual one, sitting in, eating crackers.
Beating his dick like it owes him money.
Yeah, no plans.
What
Think
about
of
you?
something
What about you there?
I think I'm gonna take the wife to the most beautiful city on the East Coast, Atlantic City, New Jersey, and possibly go stay at the Tropicana over there, which I enjoy. They have a very awesome karaoke bar that I will go up and I will do Estranged for 12 minutes long, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. And no, probably AC, some dinner, some fucking drinks, that kind of thing. Lose money.
And then fucking put this shit out of her, brother.
And maybe I will get to third base, being that it's Valentine's Day. So it's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe-
so will we do a 1, 2, 3 Happy Valentine's Day, and that'll be the end of the session?
Sure.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Happy
Valentine's
Day.
Woo! Okay, thank you, boys. That was a wonderful party, don't you agree? And just remember that any and all songs you may hear in that party scene or in any episode, they're all available on all your best streaming sites and music shops. Up next is Felicia Rose, host of the special DIY podcast, The Screw. Not really. I just find it funny when I do that. Felicia's on talking about working in the indie industry, about getting thrown out of WWE shows, and the LGBTQ representation in WWE, and whether it's important or not. Plus, she's got a little special message from my good friend, Disco Inferno. So, Felicia, hello.
Why is my phone so stupid?
Is it not a
I
smartphone?
don't know. There we go. Okay, it's all set. It's not really my phone that's stupid. It's just my fat fingers that are stupid.
Yeah, I've got the thing that my phone has that predictive typing shit, but apparently my phone thinks I'm always talking about ducks.
Instead of dicks.
Exactly. There's always talking about sacking cooks and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, my phone. The worst is when you ask somebody to sit on your face and it says shit on your face. It's like not cute at all.
No, that's not a spelling mistake.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But
You caught
anyways,
me.
yeah. That's what else you're gonna do on Mondays? Watch the TV?
No, not really.
Yeah, true. Anyway, so I'll start now, and we'll not take too long. So, and I'll let you get back to whatever. Yeah.
It's fine. I have all the time for you I need. It's totally fine.
All right, no problem. Well, hey, Felicia Rose, thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a long time coming. It's good to finally get to talk to you.
I know it took about like 2 weeks of us canceling on one another. That was good.
Well, it's actually we technically you first I was going to say came into my life, but I first became aware of you when of course you were pictured holding a sign saying "Face fuck me, Finn." So the question I have for you is why did you steal my sign?
I'm sorry, but you're not getting credit for it. It's not happening.
Is Finn still on your list? Yeah.
A list of what?
Hands to shake.
I mean, the list is complete. We're good. I've shaken his hand. wait, hold on. Does that mean something different in your world? Hold on. No, wait.
Oh, we've have you ever heard of the term? It's more of an Irish term called quacking the duck.
Oh yeah, no, I don't tell people whose ducks I quack. So nice try.
Well, I'm not really a person, so you can tell me.
Oh, this is fun. No, absolutely not.
But talk to me. And this is a question that all podcasters hate, but I love asking it because of how it annoys them all. So, hey, Felicia, why don't you tell me about your podcast and what it's like?
Oh, I love that. I have a podcast called The Screw. It is on iTunes and everywhere in the fucking world that you can listen to it. And it is about
DIY?
It's about normalizing sex, essentially. So I have a co-host and we discuss all things sex and sexuality, current events, our current events. Sometimes we do interviews, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we review sex toys, shit like that. It's fun.
Let me ask you a question about sex, because we were talking about this on the big It's Hughezy Hello New Year's Eve party special. I'm sure you were a huge fan of that episode.
But oh yeah, definitely.
I know people are all doing the memes about it and stuff, But people, one of the topics we brought up is it weird or gross for men to be attracted to grown women dressed as schoolgirls?
Dressed as what?
Schoolgirls.
I mean, no, it's a fetish. I get it. It's better than grown men being attracted to little girls dressed as schoolgirls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
as long as the person in the outfit is old enough, it doesn't matter what outfit they're wearing, is my opinion.
Well, what if it's like a baby nappy or a diaper? Sorry.
That's also a fetish, and I'd much rather people be into it with adults than be into it with children. You know what I mean? So.
See, for me, I don't get it. It's just
I don't like to fetish shame. Like I don't understand the fetish myself, but I understand how it comes to be. A lot of those fetishes and paraphilias happen as in your childhood. So for whatever reason you grow, attached or enamored by some specific thing, whether it's like a weird feeling that you feel with your hands or like a sound you hear, and then eventually it transforms into a fetish over time, and then maybe a paraphilia. So I mean, I don't like to fetish shame because we all have our shit that we're into, and it's all usually because of some weird thing that happened when we were kids. But I also, there's certain fetishes that obviously I'm not into myself, which one of them is adults diaper shit. Like I'm not into that, obviously.
Well, I'm just the normal guy who's absolutely 24/7 obsessed with arses nonstop. Like the regular Joe in the street,
Yeah, I mean, most dudes are pretty. I mean, 2019 is not my year. Like I'm a tit girl. I don't have an ass, so it's just my time to take a step aside, I guess.
But tits are okay because they look like arses.
Right. I mean, that's exactly why tits were put on the front and an ass was put on the back. It's so that in mating rituals, you're turned on either way. You flip a chick. It's true.
It's true. I mean,
now you learn the history of why we have asses and tits.
yeah, but this is the best conversation I've ever had. So
I'm sorry for any sirens in the background. I live in New York. It's loud here.
Oh, I live in Belfast. I'm always in trouble with the police anyway.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, you know. But so talk to me. Of course, you're also involved in wrestling stuff. Do you actually enjoy wrestling still? I mean, watching it.
What do you mean still? like it was a quick fad in my 20s and I'm all set now or something.
That's just because I still watch it, but sometimes it feels like I'm forcing myself to watch it. You know?
Yeah, I'll say this. So I got kicked out of SummerSlam. Well, not SummerSlam. I got kicked out. Well, I did actually, but I got kicked out the next day at Raw just for standing up and holding up my arms and shouting toward the ring and being excited because the kid next to me was causing a fucking problem. So they just kicked us both out. And ever since then, I've kind of been salty toward shit. But with the last pay-per-view, I was so excited. I thought, they did a lot of cool shit. So it kind of excited me again. But I'm not going to lie, I'm not religiously watching like I used to,
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. It's hard. Sometimes I just get really I don't know, jaded, I guess. It kind of sucks, but I try not to.
My whole thing is it's too long. It's like have you ever been to the Coachella festival?
No.
Well, if you were to go to some music festival, they're about 5-8 hours long.
Yeah, no.
And that's okay once a year, but every single Monday and Tuesday, and it's no, I don't have the time.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I know WrestleMania is, literally in my backyard this year, and I'm not going. I have too much anxiety to sit in a fucking arena for that long with that many human beings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, do you know what I found that triggered my anxiety attacks?
What?
Red meat.
Really?
Yeah, because last year I had a really unhealthy diet, and I tore my shoulder when I was fluffing pillows, and I thought I was having a heart attack.
He was fluffing pillows. You're ridiculous. Wait, so red meat. Wait, was it red meat or was it carbs and sugar like everybody else?
Red meat because it raises the blood pressure.
That's not necessarily true, but we can debate about that later. This is not the time.
Are you meat shaming me?
See, I used to be a vegetarian for 14 years and my blood pressure was through the roof. And now that I'm a meat eater and I mostly eat just meat and vegetables, I'm way healthier and all of my numbers are way better and stuff.
I'm definitely a much healthier diet, no sugar, no carbs, just vegetables and 4 lines of cocaine every day.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially what I eat, but I eat red meat all the fucking time.
So talk to me, with your involvement with wrestling stuff, do you ever have any awkward run-ins with dumb marks?
I don't know. It depends. So now that I'm a manager, I am not always at shows as a fan anymore. You know what I mean? I don't always have the time to get to shows and just be in the audience. So not really, because when I'm working, I feel there's a different level of people. When people come up to me, there's a different line of respect. But when I'm just at a show as a fan, there's been, listen, I always look at it like this, I sell my fucking nudes and most of these people are potential customers or somebody that could be a friend in the future. I'm all about being sweet. And as long as the person respects me and my space and my personal bubble, I'm totally fine with people coming up to me and whatever. I'm the face of sex and wrestling combined. Of course, people are going to say stupid shit. One time a guy whispered something really creepy in my ear and I was like, dude, really? What body language gave you that green light to be creepy? You know what I mean? Just because I am, the sex wrestling girl doesn't mean you can say whatever you want to me. But at the same time, I try to be chill if people are a little bit more awkward or weird around me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because I get it. Everybody's awkward. I'm just as awkward. I just don't show it. I really have a good, I put on a good face when I'm in public, but inside I'm fucking dying because I'm so anxious and awkward. You know what I mean? So.
But talk to me. You seem pretty socially aware and stuff. But do you? And one of the big, I'm always seeing complaints online about the WWE doesn't represent us. But do you think that representation, whether it's from race or LGBTQ communities actually matters in fake fighting, really?
Yeah, of course. Of course it matters. I mean, it matters everywhere in life. It has to matter. If it doesn't matter, then what the fuck's the point of living? You know what I mean? Like, everybody has to understand that this is an amazing platform to do a lot of really good in the world. And because that platform, unfortunately, was used for really ridiculous shit in the past, like bra and panties matches and all that shit. And like, yo, I got a boner for that shit too. But obviously, like, that's not what we want in the professional sport of wrestling, if you will. So it's like, I understand that obviously they kind of need to now they have the responsibility to switch it up and do good instead of doing bad for, you know, all of those fucking years that they did horrible shit. Like, why not? You know, I think it is a place. And listen, if these like when a wrestler comes out as, you know, gay, bisexual, trans, whatever, that is way fucking different, and they're treated way differently in the locker room than, you know, the average straight white wrestler, for example. So I think it is something that we should definitely recognize and, you know, encourage, as far as like, fine, make it your fucking platform. I think it's fun, and it's also fun. It's like a good way to make you know, characters, like, you know, the whole like vegan Daniel Bryan thing, for example. Yeah, vegan shit, people might be like, oh, that shit's stupid, whatever, but it's like, it's a fun way to make that into an actual storyline too. So I think everybody should be represented accordingly. I don't think they have to fucking do it as like gimmicks. I think that doesn't have to be done, clearly, but at the same time, like, I do like what they're doing. I mean, it still fucking leaps and bounds away from where it needed to be, but I think it's cool for people to be like, listen, I'm out and I'm proud, and there is, you know, there does need to be a change in the way that we treat people. So,
do you think that sexism in wrestling is really something that's ever going to be something that people can get over or get past, is what I meant to say?
Well, the problem is, I mean, wrestling is like so many years behind everywhere else. So like the Me Too movement in wrestling, for example, is so fucking, it's just not even in existence. Like, it's so barbaric. I feel like everybody is just like under a fucking rock in wrestling for some reason. So sexism, obviously, I don't think it'll ever go away in the real world. So why would it go away in wrestling? You know what I mean? Do I think that we're coming closer to the equality of, in terms of the way that we view wrestlers? Sure, but there's still going to be those assholes that are like, I don't want to see women wrestle. Even I've heard male wrestlers that are in WWE say to me specifically, I do not think that women should wrestle. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
But that's why I just can't understand why there's still grown adults that don't get why this Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey match is so huge.
People just don't want to like admit that, to the fact that they've been talking shit about something that they're now into. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's just like talking all this shit about Becky Lynch, but please, motherfucker, she could cut a better promo than any one of those guys signed on right now at WWE, and we all can fucking agree to that. I don't care what anybody says. She is fire, and she's doing amazing, and like, I don't understand why there just can't be like, put aside what's between these people's legs. It really doesn't have anything to do with that.
And she's Irish, which instantly makes her superior.
Of course. Absolutely. And her accent is so cute, and she just like, fuck, like, I don't like her mic skills. I don't know. A lot of the people that come from NXT, their mic skills suffer when they get to WWE because they're not doing as much work with them in the, you know, like backstage in the locker room, all this shit. They're not practicing as much, whatever. She has gotten better, and that's like so unheard of sometimes. So I'm so proud of like that being the face of women's wrestling right now, you know?
And speaking of women in wrestling, there was a thing that happened on I think it was at an indie show a couple of weeks ago or a month ago. There was a lady called Priscilla Kelly.
Yeah, and Tuna. And we all, listen, I want to make sure everybody realizes that there was another person in the match. Her name was Tuna. She's badass too. She took a tampon in her mouth. So like, let's get her name out there more too. You know what I mean? Priscilla's badass, and so isn't Tuna. They're both great women.
But my whole point to that was like, that was a fake tampon, right?
Well, it was a tampon. It was just, it didn't have real blood on it.
Yeah, well, you could throw a fake one at me, no problem. I'd take a fake one, but all the people online were going, "Oh my God, that's gross! How can he do that?" Well, due to my complete nerdy addiction, there was a thing back in 2006 where Vince McMahon stuck his bleeding forehead into the naked anus of Big Show, who'd been wrestling for 20 minutes. And it's like, I'd rather take fake blood than have, I don't know who I'd rather be on the end of that Vince Big Show thing.
Right. I mean, listen, just look at a regular death match, and people will say like, well, that's not for me either. Well, fine. So you just don't like blood. So the idea of blood, you're squeamish to. I don't care about that. That's, that percentage of people, I don't think they should be talking shit about it. Just don't look, is my opinion. But like, if you look at a standard ass death match, this is like, we're talking actual blood covering human beings and an entire ring. Like, what? These people are actually fucking bleeding everywhere. So for people to be super grossed out just because the insinuation that this blood came from a uterus, oh my God. Like, listen, if you won't pull my tampon out of me, you're not allowed to fuck me. So honestly, props to Priscilla, because if people can't hang with that, then I know that they can't have sex with me. It's basically like a new way of me getting to like figure out early on if I can like hang with somebody. I send them that video. If they're grossed out by it, then they can't fuck me.
Well, by the way, I got a message from Joe Feeney wondering if you were ever going to join the Creative Control Network.
Well, it'd be funny if he would message me about it. No, yeah, I think we're in chats about it. I told him to listen to our podcast, get back to us. Yeah, I mean, I'm down.
Because he's up for anything that's not wrestling, because there's too much wrestling on there. And plus,
my podcast only talks about wrestling if I have like a wrestling thing coming up, or if like, like we discussed the Priscilla Kelly spot and like things like that, but we don't really go over wrestling too much on it.
And plus, with your personality, you definitely get invited to the next It's Hughezy Hello New Year's Eve party special.
I better get invited to whatever the fuck you do in the future.
There'll be the St. Patrick's Day party next month.
Oh, wow. St. Patrick's Day. I forgot that that's a thing.
And you call yourself a Becky Lynch fan.
Well, white Irishmen aren't really like on the list of to do, you know what I mean? I mean, if they all had Irish accents, that'd be a different story, but
that's what we're talking about. So we've come to the two big questions, and these are the big questions that could change it all for you. Here's the first. Ready. Who is the better band, Queen or the Beatles?
Queen, by a fucking landslide. Way more dynamic. Everybody
says that. And do you like to know a theory / opinion I have?
No.
I think that...
I said no.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, you're so good with consent. No, you can tell me.
I honestly think that Freddie Mercury cured, to say, a lot of people's homophobia. Because it's like, so if you don't like gay people, but if Freddie Mercury walked in and said, who wants to go drinking? Everyone would be like, I'll fucking definitely go drinking with you, boss.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally like the dude that got all these dudes that are like, because I believe sexuality is like a spectrum, there's like, okay, fine, like super duper straight guys, and there's super duper gay guys and stuff like that. But then there's all this gray shit in between. I feel like Freddie Mercury got everybody's dick to jump right at the right time in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the guy was so cool that he probably needed to wear a scarf even during the summer.
It was like the Prince of, it was like Prince. Prince did the same thing, like just transcended sexuality and gender. I think that's the big thing, is like the gender piece of it. Like the Beatles were just guys, you know what I mean? Like Queen was like this genderless fucking rock and roll phenomenon. It's a completely different scenario to me. So, and plus I'm not really a big fan of Beatles music. Like there's some bangers, but like I'm good.
I'll send you some videos of me singing them drunk in the street. Yeah, it'll be exciting for you.
Wonderful.
Now, here's the big question, and this is the big question that could change it all. And there's actually a right answer to this question, and this could erase the podcast, your followers, your wrestling career, everything if this goes wrong. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, that wasn't the question, but the question is to follow. And the question is this. The Spice Girls are back. Who is the favorite Spice Girl?
I'm so biased because I used to always have to play a certain one of them. I would say Ginger.
Sorry, that is the incorrect answer. The answer you were looking for is Baby Spice. Baby Spice is the best.
Wait, weren't you just having a conversation about girls dressed up in like schoolgirl outfits? Like what? Baby Spice? You like the one that's a baby? Nice try.
Yeah, but you forget that I'm Hypocrite Spice.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
All
right. Well, I'm sorry that I failed you so hard.
I'll get over it next year, but
it's cool. But like, if you ever want to do Spice Girls and or Queen karaoke, literally those are two on the top of my karaoke list. So I can do this with you.
Well, if you like the luge, I'll do it definitely. Yeah, I don't mind fucking winning in America.
I mean, yeah, let's do it. I'm battling you. Well, we need you to get over here, so we need people to like pay for your ass to get to the United States so that we can have a Hughesy People's Tramp karaoke battle.
Well, as soon as my probation officer lets me leave the country, it's on. But can I ask one quick favor?
Yeah, sure.
So as you know, I'm always feuding with Disco Inferno. He won't come on the podcast. Yeah. So what I've started to do is I've tried to get guests to record messages asking him to come on.
Do you want me to do it in like a sexy voice or something?
I thought this was.
You're an idiot.
Legally. So yeah, if you could just say like Disco to come on the It's Usually Hello podcast, and then I could send it to that slob.
And then wait, what? Okay, yeah, fine. Tell me when to say it.
Just whenever you're ready.
Hey, Disco, it's Felicia Rose, the People's Tramp. I think you should really come on It's Usually Hello's podcast. He's the best, and I heard he has a huge dick.
She heard wrong.
Hey, man, whatever. I'm getting paid for this, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, of course. Well, hey, listen, this was great, and I had a great time talking to you.
Yeah, you're all right.
No, not really. But I'd definitely like to have you back on again for the St. Patrick's Day party.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. It was delightful.
Don't worry. And I'll plug all the stuff in editing.
Yeah, plug all my stuff.
No problem.
Plug it hard. I want like a really deep, hard plugging.
Well, see, I don't know if I can't even respond to that because I get in trouble these days.
Sorry, I didn't know I had to be PG something.
All right. Well, take care and we'll speak to you in about 5 weeks.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
See you later.
Have a good one.
Thank you, Felicia. And isn't it great that I was able to resist the urge to do the whole bye, Felicia joke, because she likely would have cut me down to shreds because she's probably heard that a million times. But anyway, up next is the brilliant Brian Cage. Yes, the Brian Cage from Impact Wrestling. And we're on talking AWE, talking about the rise of Impact Wrestling, talking about the rise of women in the industry, talking about, you've guessed it, the Terminator franchise. So, Brian Cage, thank you very much for coming on, and hello. Brian Cage, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, no worries, man. I driving overnight from Mexico back to my home because it's my, well, now it is today, so now it's my birthday. So I didn't want to stay down south of the border. I wanted to come home to Melissa and go have a nice day off.
But then, speaking of days off, do guys like you ever get jealous of guys like me? And not because, like, just say I gained 5 pounds of fat. Nobody's ever going to notice because I'm already so badly out of shape.
You know, sometimes people call me high maintenance because of my diet, you know, requirements. And like whenever I get booked somewhere, I'm like, yo, does my hotel room have a fridge? Does it have a microwave? You know, can I go to a gym? Can I do that? Whatever. People sometimes will complain about it. I go, hey, look, you're booking me part of the reason because of who I am, right? Which is part of the character, my look, my size, my attributes. I'm like, all of that takes a whole lot of work and a whole lot of discipline. If I can look this way and skip the gym, play video games all day, which I do love, and eat McDonald's, I'm like, well, then that'd be awesome. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So, you know, it becomes a little more troublesome. With that being said, No, I don't get jealous of that though, because it's a lifestyle I choose and a lifestyle I love, which I would live if I was still a wrestler or not. And I want to be the guy that's 65 in the gym, still killing it, still in great shape. So.
Do you drink alcohol?
Nope, never.
Oh my God! Then you're definitely not from Ireland.
I am not.
So talk to me about the rise of Impact, because like I've watched since the early days of Nashville days, and it's fair to say that there was a bit of a dip for quite a while, but there's been a real rise in it, and the roster is insane right now. So the question I would ask is, how does it feel that you are considered one of the reasons for Impact pulling it around?
It's been great. When I got the opportunity to jump on board, I was a little on the fence because, as you said, it was definitely on the on the cliff hanging. It was barely holding on, and I went through some troublesome years and a lot of back and forth and owner switches, and we came out to a pretty good deal, and I knew what they were going to do with me, and it was awesome. And then it's not just me. I mean, it was the whole creative team and people backstage and all the other people that brought on board. Everyone pulled their weight pretty equally and really turned the ship around. But being able to jump onto it right before that happened and be one of the people trying to lead the ship into a better direction was definitely an awesome opportunity. I feel like it's lived up to it so far, and so I appreciate everyone who's been a fan of mine and been a fan of Impact or becoming a fan of Impact now because of it.
Yeah, and for me, it's guys like you and Killer Cross who I didn't know before Impact, that now you guys are the reasons why I watch it every week. Like you're making it exciting to watch again for fans like me.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
But so I take it you've been a wrestling fan since a kid, then, yeah?
Yep, since I was 5.
So how do you think about the rise of the women within the industry of wrestling?
I think it's great because for the longest time, there was a lot of bad women wrestling, but I do attribute that a lot though to the fact that WWE, which is the mainscape of the land, had a lot of non-wrestlers on TV, so of course it wasn't that good. That being said, though, like there's always excellent workers when the whole women's evolution wasn't around. Like Victoria I always loved, Molly Holly, Trish Stratus, which wasn't a wrestler, became phenomenal. I love Mickie James. So there's a lot of good talented women out there, but obviously there's loads more workers now than there ever was before when it comes to the female division, and they have way more opportunities. There's way more opportunities in wrestling in general, but definitely for the ladies, there's so much more exposure and opportunities than there ever was before.
How is it for you as a wrestler having to deal with wrestling marks?
You mean as far as like annoying ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? It's the more you get hassled, or like the more I guess over you become, because then obviously you're going to have more people troll you. It starts to just wear away, and you kind of ignore it. Somebody might get under your skin every now and then, but the best way to do anything is to just not respond whatsoever, because majority of the time too, you have people saying whatever they're saying because they want to get a reaction from you or a response from you. A lot of the times too, they could be a big fan of yours, and they go, you know what, I probably have a better chance of having this guy respond to me if I say F you as opposed to like I love you. So I feel like that's kind of the route to go, but whatever. The mute button is excellent.
But I don't know how you guys can take it sometimes, because I don't know if you've seen the video of Killer Cross is making an entrance and some fan like slaps him on the back of the neck, and
yeah,
and you'd love to say, do you seriously think you could take him in a fight?
Who, Killer Cross?
Yeah.
Do you think I could take him?
No, the fan that slapped him on the back of the neck.
Oh yeah, no, Cross will kill him. Yeah, there's been some times where I've lost my shit on fans like that, like in person, or I've gotten close to it. Especially when you're healing up real good and you have some jackass in the crowd or something, you know, take it to the next level. Like when people throw shit at me or blast me something, oh yeah, I usually don't take too kindly to that. That's I get mad. I get real mad.
I just think that see, I have a lot of wrestling fans that they're either nerds like me, or they're stupid, or they're mentally ill, which is a shame. But talk to me. The latest big news in the wrestling business, speaking of Marks, is the All Elite Wrestling AEW. Now, the fan base has kind of gone in two groups. There's the groups of me who think, well, why couldn't those financiers just support already established companies? And then there's the other groups who think, oh, but it's another alternative. So what's your take on AEW?
I think it's awesome, man. I think what Cody the Bucks, I mean, all of them are doing is great. I thought, you know, the All-In event was one of the coolest things I was a part of. And it was definitely a big historic milestone in wrestling. And I think it's awesome. It's trying to not only be an alternative, it's almost like FUBU, right? They'll force bias, but instead of clothing, it's wrestling. So it's like, you know, for wrestlers by wrestlers. And it's trying to be everything that, you know, like WWE's not, as far as a corporate conglomerate. And, you know, they're trying to have less work for the wrestlers, better traveling conditions, better treatment, better pay. You know, there's all sorts of rumors and whatnot of certain benefits they may get or whatnot. And it's awesome to see wrestling grow to that aspect. And I believe, you know, these guys are the hottest thing outside of anything in WWE. And I really wish them great success. And I think it's for sure going to be successful.
Do you think, though, that they'll be able to maintain it on a weekly basis?
So, right, All In smashed out of the park. I'm sure Double or Nothing will, and anything there afterwards. Now, when they get to their full, you know, TV deal, whatever that might be, and when it becomes a weekly thing, whenever that happens, obviously that's a whole different story. But, I mean, if they're pulling enough talent together to do it, and they land a major network that they're talking about, and they definitely have the financial backing, I mean, it's definitely not unforeseeable to see them succeed and be able to pull it out on a weekly basis.
Well, not to be an ass kisser, but if they really want to draw in people, I'm telling you, Brian Cage versus Chris Jericho.
Oh, I would love that. That he's actually my top three guys that I emulate or try to emulate in the ring too. It's the three Chris's, Jericho, Benoit, and Canyon. Like my three people I wanted to aspire to be like in the ring. So that'd be an honor to be able to work Jericho. Big fan of his. He's awesome. As amongst many other people, I'm sure that they're getting. You know, I would love to work with Pac as well. That'd be great. Yeah. But
it's an exciting time. You know, like I think that whenever you're available, people are going to be coming after you. So just make sure you've got a nice, good wallet for it. You know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely. I said it's my birthday today too, and I'm not getting younger, and I feel like I'm about my prime physical condition, my prime of wrestling, and wrestling's kind of in a prime time, so it's definitely time to make some cheddar and make some waves. It's like now or never, so definitely looking to make the most of it the next several years going forward.
Well, happy birthday to you, by the way. I didn't know.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
So, of course, I'm sure you're a subscriber to the WWE Network, yeah?
Am I?
Yeah.
I've actually been a subscriber for quite some time, and I forget. Actually, I've just talked about this recently, like several times, which is funny that you bring it up because I completely forgot that I was even paying for it. I had it, and I a couple months back, too, was a pay-per-view I really wanted to watch. Like, oh man, it would have been nice to watch that. Then I realized later on, like, wait, I could have. I have the fucking network. And I was laid over in London, coming back from Germany this past weekend, and I watched the NXT pay-per-view, the takeover, and then I actually ended up watching Royal Rumble when I got home that night, which two first like full-on WWE shows I've watched in its entirety, and I don't know how long. But go ahead.
So, do you remember what your first ever network pick was?
What was what I watched on the network the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. It wasn't a pay-per-view. First thing I watched on the network was probably like a random Nitro or something.
So talk to me. It's pretty obvious that you're a big fan of the Terminator. Do you think that the Terminator sequels 3, 4, and 5 are unfairly criticized?
I've enjoyed them all except for 4. Like, I understand the rest aren't as good, but I like 3. 3 has its downfalls, and I like the reboot deal, the Genesis. I thought that was great. I really actually like that one. 4, I didn't like at all, just because it wasn't a Terminator movie, and I don't know. It just, to me, it just felt like a big budgeted, like, made for TV or like on Sci-Fi Network like movie. I don't know. I just wasn't into it.
Have you heard the rumors about Terminator 6?
Of course, yes. With James Cameron coming back for it, supposedly.
No, Terminator 6 is based on Cameron's script for Terminator 3.
Yep.
And the big rumor is Guns N' Roses have written a song for it.
Oh, really? I haven't heard of that.
That's the rumor. And the trailer's apparently dropping at the Super Bowl. What's that, tomorrow?
Yeah, it is tomorrow.
So it's a good time to be a Terminator fan.
Oh, wow. I'm stoked on that. I didn't know that either, so.
But Brian, just as we're coming up to the end of the interview, just get these 2 final questions. I'm going to ask everybody these, and these are big, big questions. Here's the first one. Who's the better band, Queen or the Beatles?
Ooh. Better band? I don't know. Which band do I like more? Queen.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah. I feel like Beatles would win, like, who's better? But I like Queen way more. And I just watched that movie not too long ago, too, which was great.
Mm. And here's the final question. And this is the big question, and this is what it all relies on: your future, your past, your present. The Spice Girls are back. Who's your favorite Spice Girl?
That's hilarious. So when I was a kid, when they were popping, because we all had to choose differently, me and all my brothers, I had chose Sporty Spice. I thought she was cool, and but out of all of them, Ginger Spice for sure was the most the hottest at that moment. Now it would have to go to Posh Spice.
I'm sorry, that's the incorrect answer. The answer you were looking for is Baby Spice.
No.
Well, listen, Brian, I just want to thank you for your time here, but can I ask one quick favor from you?
Sure.
One of the other editing jobs I do is I edit for the podcast Keeping the 100, Conan and Disco Inferno.
Of course.
And Disco Inferno, out of spite, refuses to do my podcast. So what I've started doing is, with celebrity guests like you, if I could just record a quick request from you asking Disco to come on this.
Sure.
Like, so all you gotta do is say it's this is Brian Cage and Disco do the It's Hughezy Hello podcast.
What do the what podcast?
The It's Hughezy Hello podcast.
It's Hughezy Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Just whatever?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. What's up, guys? It's the Wolverine, the F Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and Disco Inferno. What the hell is wrong with you, huh? Come on, Disco. Throw this guy a bone and do the itchy. Oh, I fucking fucked it up. It's always everyone's podcast names that always make you, like, fuck it up. What? Hold on a second. Hold on. Yo, it's the F Machine, the Wolverine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and this is going out to Disco Inferno. Disco, what the hell is wrong with you? Come on, man. Throw this guy a bone and do the Hughezy Hello podcast. Come on, like you're busy doing anything else. Get real.
That was brilliant. Listen, Brian, thank you so much and happy birthday, and have a good weekend, yeah?
All right, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to eating a lot of food today, tomorrow, or tonight later tonight when I wake up. So.
Axel, you're a great man, and I'd love to meet you someday in person.
Yeah, man, I hope to get over there. I've been, I know there's a couple feds over there that are on my list to knock off, especially because no matter where I go, more than likely next year I'll be exclusive. So this is kind of my last year to do any sort of indie tour. So I'm trying to knock them out.
No problem. Well, here, have a good day, yeah?
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. See you.
See that? Brian Cage, he's getting heat with this going fern over me as well, as he should. That's the episode. Don't forget to leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening to this through iTunes, give a 5-star rating. Send it out, share it, interact with all kinds of social media down below. Buy the songs that are used. It's Hughesy. Bye-bye.